I just want to show you this.
I could see those eyes through the smoke.
That is Justin Trudeau's son, Xavier Trudeau. To my knowledge, he is still 17 years old. Let me fact check that, though. Yep, he is still 17 years old until October 18th, according to Google. So he announced, we reported on this late January, roughly, that he was going to be coming out with a single. He has moved on to becoming a rapper of some sort. And that's fine, whatever. I'm not going to crap on some young kid, just because his dad has destroyed our country. If he wants to be a rapper, have at her, baby. That's fine. I'm sure you're going to do very well and successful because you have a lot of money behind you to ensure that you do. But here's the thing about this song that I just feel a little bit kind of like, Justin Trudeau is set to no longer be prime minister in a matter of weeks. And did he have to post this right now? Like, was it imperative for him to post it while his dad was still prime minister? Again, this kid is 17, right? And we have this here from Joey Boer, who is the music label's co-founder and co-owner. He told the National Post that everything you hear from Zav is 100% original and made specifically to curate to Zav's ideas. Well, let's go into what exactly those ideas are, and maybe you'll be able to put some pieces together very similar to myself in how I just feel. I'm going to get a little conservative here, but honestly, the part about this that is just so eye-opening, and I'm not judging a 17-year-old boy for being a 17-year-old boy, but, when I was younger, my friends and I were so ugly, and we did not care about anything like this at all. And it has just been really interesting to see the way that sexuality is used in television, in music, and the way that it really does shape the narrative. Like, the political, social, and cultural landscape affects so many things, where you have a 17-year-old boy who could literally, with his dad and the money that they have, probably rise to do just about anything. And this is what his mind is on. This is what the mind of a lot of people are like, even far younger than him. But you're also technically still underage, for whatever that's worth these days. And these are some very interesting lyrics. Let's read some of them. You could lay back. Let me take the wheel. I'm the only one who knows how to make you feel. You got some I could grip on. I know you don't miss no meals. Forget your man back home just tonight. Then I'll disappear. And then it goes on to saying, don't you know about me? I ain't like him. We could roll some. We could light one. We could dim 'em all down. Baby, we could move in slow motion till the night's done. These lyrics obviously are very, very, it's a lot. Actually, here's another one now that I'm reading into this. It says, when you hit the light switch, tell him that you love him. Know that you'll always be my I know when he kissin' on your spine, you pretend they my lips. And I know when he lay it on you, you pretend it's my shh. So I know when you call me up, you want me to take the wheel. For a 17-year-old boy, I mean, just going by the law, at least, that just seems like a pretty interesting song to write. I get it. Trust me, met a lot of young boys in my day. I understand how those brains work. But again, everything about this, the timing of it just seems kind of odd. Do with that information what you will. Moving on to some funding that is interesting and cut from somewhere where you would least expect it, given how woke the West is, specifically Canada. It's like the wokest place in the freaking world. I mean that. I said that kind of silly, but I mean that. That's true. Toronto's Pride Festival 2025, they are facing a lot of really big issues right now. And I'll say this again, I've said this before, I don't care if you don't like me for it. I don't actually care if anybody is gay. I just don't. I have a lot of friends who are. I have friends who are bisexual. I don't care. It doesn't affect my life none. If that makes you feel happy and you feel loved, have at her, baby. Like, if you're doing anything wrong, you're going to pay the piper one day. It's not my job on this earth to be the one who judges you and makes your life miserable over any of this stuff.
For an LGBTQ2+ kids' rights.
There has long been this idea that, diversity, inclusion, all of these things, and we need to fund them because these are oppressed groups, right? And I'll just throw this out there. If you're oppressed, you're not getting any money. If you're actually oppressed, you don't even know that you are. That's how that works. You should go listen to some of the defectors of North Korea tell their stories about what oppression really feels like. But nonetheless, there is nothing that screams you are absolutely not a marginalized group that needs to be taken care of more than the fact that Pride Toronto, who positions themselves like that, has over half of its $5.5 million budget annually is given to them in donations from corporate sponsors and government funding. Yeah, that's not oppression, dude, at all, actually. Turns out that a lot of those companies have, because of, they operate in both Canada and the US, and so because of Donald Trump and some of the executive orders that he has signed in order to seize funding for, inclusivity and DEI, which does the exact opposite of what it's intended to do. You can do the research on that. A lot of those businesses are saying, well, if we're not going to be funding this in the United States anymore, and we also operate in Canada, we're just not going to fund it anywhere, I guess. Like, why would we? Let's save that money, obviously. And I'll quote this from Blender News. If you are not subscribed to their email newsletter, this isn't paid or anything like that. I just genuinely really like what they do. They actually said here, and I quote, "This shift should be seen as a step towards cultural balance. There is a middle ground between discrimination and the performative excess of modern pride parades. Normalcy. The idea that sexual orientation or gender identity needs to be endlessly paraded with corporate sponsorships and government subsidies has worn thin. This isn't about erasing rights. It's about ending the absurd expectation that private businesses must prop up activism." That pretty well summarizes exactly how I feel.